So I wanted to make a video regarding a voting measure by the Cardano community and where I stand on it personally, but also say that the views and opinions that I express in this video are entirely my own and don't reflect any kind of organization or any kind of department of sorts. They don't reflect the Cardano community. They don't reflect the Cardano community as a whole, I guess I would say. I'm an individual direct voter. I think a lot of people would agree with the measure of voting yes on the specific proposal and would agree with my justifications as to why I would want to vote yes on the measure. But I don't speak for the Cardano community as a whole, but I think a lot of people would agree with what I'm saying. Um, this is purely for educational and architectural documentation, strategy, and entertainment. This isn't financial advice in any kind of way. This is me just explaining my gripes with the current community endeavor and where we're going in a general direction as a Cardano community and ecosystem. Um, I started this YouTube channel and called it Atlas Network Transmissions because I am building a B2B SaaS platform and I have certain ideas for a startup or several startups that I want to implement in the Cardano ecosystem. Um, and this voting measure specifically is extremely important in whether that actually happens or not. The network's dealing with a critical infrastructure vote that expires on July 28th, the 646th epoch, and it's regarding the funding of Blockfrost. And participants in this treasury vote might see this as just that, a treasury vote, especially by retail. But people who are building businesses in this ecosystem and are relying on APIs and off-chain infrastructure to um, have a committed underbelly of infrastructure support them and support the real world and physical assets we rely on this technology, this off-chain technology. And, it's not just a treasury debate for us specifically. It's a matter of survival, and it's extremely important. Commercial applications require off-chain indexing APIs to read the ledger. So Blockfrost currently handles the vast majority of network traffic, including centralized exchange routing and fiat on-ramps. The consequence of a no vote means that the API goes dark. And there's a video recently put out by Charles that explains how exchanges will drop the ecosystem and drop Cardano in general if they have to uh, build custom backends to support offering the fucking coin in the first place. So, and me specifically as a builder in this ecosystem, I'd have to take on a bunch of extra costs on the back end, and it would be extremely complicated and extremely expensive, and it would completely derail the plug and play infrastructure that the ecosystem has been building for so long now. And I rely on that as a startup founder, as someone who's attempting to use this incredibly dependable and reliant blockchain infrastructure and ecosystem. I rely on Blockfrost. I rely on the traffic that they facilitate. It's extremely important to making real life assets um, be cohesive with this idea of decentralized transactional architecture. So pivoting back to the idea of a physical economy, the SaaS platforms that I'm trying to build rely heavily on this exact infrastructure. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to replace the traditional net 60 payment flow in commercial construction, and that requires automated escrow vaults and frictionless USDC routing. So if Blockfrost goes down, That means the network's API indexers fail and smart contracts go blind. And that completely derails everything that I've been trying to build. And well, transaction data can't be processed because of that. So real world partners that I'm trying to work with, that I'm trying to build business relationships with, won't find that acceptable at all. And it makes me liable. It makes everything I'm trying to build liable, and nothing can be done on the Cardano ecosystem. The value of the system from a macroeconomic and architectural point of view is completely gone. And Blockfrost is an important part of that. Um, it's an important part of all of it. Um, so if there's any discrepancies over the vote regarding ideological stances, I think we should put those aside for the moment because we're all in Cardano. We're all in on the idea of Cardano because probably of ideological ways of thinking. And I think it's super important to keep that at the heart of what we're doing. But at the same time, there's a reality that the bridges being built require nuances and perspectives that lead us in that general direction a lot better and for real. Because being too ideological and preventing growth is irresponsible. And if we want to get to a point where we're successful in the future, we have to be mendable, we have to be adaptable so that we can survive and then we can come out on top as the most dependable, most reliant blockchain in the industry. So we have the technology, we have the dependability, we just need the adaptability from people, from governance, from people in the governance structure. We need the reliability of adaptability from um, DREP, DREPs. Um, we need to be able to get out of our own way and succeed. If you want to transition to other alternatives other than Blockfrost, that's fine, and I think that makes a lot of sense. But you shouldn't blow up the bridge that commercial traffic is actively trying to cross. It's a stupid idea. It's not smart. And if you're doing it for ideological purposes, you shouldn't be in this space at all. You should be, ideology should intrigue you and it should bring you in, and you should be able to work with that. But it shouldn't be the end all be all if you're trying to realistically become a part of the Web 2.5 world, become a part of the modern commercial world. You have to have some pragmaticism, some realism, and if you can, if you're an ADA holder, you should go vote directly as an ADA holder for this proposal. You should vote yes, and if you're a DREP, um, you should definitely vote on the side of yes. This is extremely important to people who are trying to build in this ecosystem like myself. I spent almost all my days trying to get these startups going. I have an LLC and I'm trying to get a list of sub-series going from this LLC utilizing this technology because I truly believe that it'll make the world a better place. I think faster transactional speeds in general, a more honest, capitalistic, business-oriented world will make the world a better place. Um, um, just as a subsequent effect of the auditability of blockchain of Cardano specifically. Um, so go vote yes if you're an ADA holder. If you're a DREP holder, go vote. If you're a DREP, go vote yes. This is extremely important to anybody who's building. And I want to say that I voted as a direct voter. Um, And if I'm saying anything last minute before I end the video, I think I want to remind other founders who are in a similar position as I am, and I want to remind direct voters and DREPs that ideology is important and you have to have it because that's how we got here in the first place. That's how we're even talking about this in the first place because of what we believe, because what we believe is true and important to us. And it will come true in the future. Um, but infrastructure, the security of our infrastructure is also necessary, especially for enterprise adoption. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what everybody else is trying to do. Let's not wreck that. Let's not mess this up. We're headed in the right direction. Ending Blockfrost the way that it is now is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. And we should vote yes on the Blockfrost matter. Vote yes. Thank you.